Do you ever feel like no matter how hard you try, there's always more month left at the end of your paycheck? Maybe you've juggled overdue bills, shifting payments around just to avoid the dreaded late fees. Or perhaps you've had moments where you skip a meal out, holding off on repairs, or saying no to something your family truly needed. Instead of moving forward, it feels like you're running in place, watching others achieve the freedom and ease you desperately want for yourself. And then there's the sinking feeling that comes every time you have to withdraw money. You dread logging into your account, bracing yourself to see the number shrink, knowing it's never enough. It's not just the transaction, it's the emotional toll of seeing your hard-earned money vanish, leaving you anxious and exhausted every time you spend, even on necessities. And then, in those quiet, restless moments, the thought creeps in, why does life have to be this way? Why does it feel so unfair? If this feels familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people are trapped in the same cycle, weighed down by financial struggles and quietly questioning if they'll ever break free. But here's the good news. Your life will change for the better today. In fact, the universe has always been trying to guide you toward a better way. A way where abundance flows easily, security is yours to hold, and the freedom you've dreamed of is within your reach. You didn't stumble across this message by accident. The universe brought you here, right now, because it's time for you to see what's possible. I want to share with you the exact method that shattered the chains of struggle for me, a discovery that rewired the way I approach life, aligned me with an unseen universal force, and unlocked doors to wealth and abundance I never imagined possible. This isn't a coincidence. The universe wants you to see this because it's time for you to reclaim your life. Stick with me, and in the next few moments, I'll show you how I use this universal principle to break free from struggle and finally step into a life of wealth, purpose, and fulfillment, and how you can too. Hi, my name is Ryan Howard, and exactly a year ago, I was living a nightmare. I wasn't always this confident, wealthy, or successful. Far from it. I was suffocating under a mountain of debt. My relationships were falling apart, and every morning I woke up to a heavy knot in my stomach, wondering how I'd make it through another day. Let me paint the picture for you. I was living in a crumbling one-bedroom apartment with peeling walls and a leaky ceiling that dripped every time it rained. The landlord, fed up with my late payments, started showing up at my door, pounding and shouting threats to evict me. One month, when I couldn't scrape together enough for rent, she cut off the electricity, forcing me to spend nights in the dark, using candles to light the room. I drove an old rusted car that stalled more often than it started. Every time I turned the key, I prayed it wouldn't give up on me completely, but it always seemed to break down at the worst possible moments once, even on the side of the highway during a freezing rainstorm. My credit cards were maxed out, and I'd stopped answering calls because it was always another collection agency demanding money I didn't have. The worst part? The shame of having to call my mom, again, to borrow just enough to get groceries. She didn't have much either, and her voice always carried the weight of disappointment, even if she tried to hide it. The stress was eating away at me. My girlfriend at the time, frustrated by the constant financial strain, started pulling away. One day she finally told me, I can't do this anymore, and walked out. But the moment that truly broke me came on a cold, rainy Thursday evening. I had just come out of yet another humiliating job interview, where the hiring manager barely looked me in the eye before dismissing me. My shoes were soaked through, and I sat in my car, a beat-up sedan with duct tape holding the side mirror in place. I checked my bank account on my phone. $6.83. That number stared back at me like it was mocking me. I needed gas to get home, but buying it would leave me with almost nothing. I looked at my reflection in the rearview mirror and barely recognized the person staring back hollow-eyed, defeated, and utterly hopeless. Whispered to myself, is this it? Is this all my life is ever going to be? I felt like I had reached the end, but that's when everything changed. It all started with a chance encounter. One particularly hard day after the gut-wrenching moment in my car, I felt like I had nowhere else to go. I couldn't face going home to my dark, empty apartment, and I couldn't bear the silence in my head that screamed of failure. So I decided to head to this old music store downtown. The place was nothing special: dusty vinyl records stacked haphazardly, dim lighting that flickered occasionally, and a faint smell of aged wood and coffee. But it was a refuge for me. I could listen to music for free, and for a few moments, I could escape my own life. That night, something strange happened. As I wandered the aisles, aimlessly running my fingers across records I couldn't afford, I noticed a door marked "Staff Only," slightly ajar. Normally, I wouldn't think twice about something like that, but this time, something stopped me in my tracks. I felt it, a hunch, or maybe a pull. It wasn't just curiosity, it was like something was calling me. Hesitantly, I stepped through the door. Inside was a small, dimly lit room, and in the center of it sat a single pair of headphones resting on an old wooden desk. It felt oddly out of place, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was supposed to put them on. The moment the headphones covered my ears, everything changed. A deep, resonant sound filled my head. Not music exactly, but a vibration that seemed to reach into the very core of me. I felt light, free, and for the first time in years, the weight on my chest lifted. It was as if my fears, doubts, and pain dissolved, leaving behind a calm, expansive sense of possibility. I don't know how long I sat there, but eventually I felt a hand on my shoulder. Startled, I turned to see the store's owner, an older man with kind eyes and a weathered face. "How do you feel?" he asked, a knowing smile on his lips. I don't know," I stammered. "It's like I can finally breathe." He nodded, as if he'd heard this before. "You've been fighting, haven't you?" he asked softly. I froze. How could he know? "It's written all over you," he continued. "You're fighting for your life, for something better, but the weight is crushing you." I nodded silently, unable to hold back the lump in my throat. "Let me tell you a story," he said, motioning for me to sit down. He began to explain the nebula, a cosmic phenomenon that births stars, planets, and galaxies. A place where chaos transforms into order, where scattered particles come together to create light and energy. He described it as the birthplace of creation, a force that powers not just the universe, but everything in it, including us. He told me the headphones weren't ordinary. They were designed to mimic the vibrations of a nebula, to help align the mind and body with the creative energy of the universe. But it's not just about the sound, he said. It's about what the nebula represents. It's a reminder that no matter how scattered or broken your life feels, the universe holds the power to bring everything together to create something brilliant from chaos. When you align with that energy, wealth, abundance, and success follow naturally. It's all about finding the rhythm, the flow. His words hit me like a bolt of lightning. For the first time, I felt like there was a way out of the mess I was in, not through grinding harder, but by aligning myself with something greater, something universal. After a pause, I managed to ask, "How much is it?" "For the headphones, the sound, whatever this is. I'll figure out a way to pay for it." His lips curved into a gentle smile and he shook his head. "It's not for sale," he said. I stared at him, confused. "But why not? If this is so powerful, why wouldn't you sell it?" He leaned back and folded his arms. "Because this isn't something you buy. It's something you experience. If you're serious about changing your life, you can come into this room and listen to it every day. No charge." That caught me off guard. Why would he do that? Seeing the skepticism in my eyes, he added, "This sound isn't just relaxing. It's designed to align you with the energy of abundance. It works because it shifts your internal vibration, making you a magnet for wealth and success. You'll see. Give it time." I wanted to believe him, but I couldn't shake the doubt. "Sure, it sounds nice," I said hesitantly, "but how can you be so sure it works?" His smile didn't waver. Without a word, he reached into his pocket, pulled out his phone, and opened his banking app. He turned the screen toward me, and my jaw nearly hit the floor. The balance showed over $2 million. "This," he said, pointing to the screen, "is what alignment looks like. I started with less than you, no connections, no inheritance, just a whole lot of debt. And now here I am." I stared at him, dumbfounded. There was no reason for him to lie. After all, there was nothing I could give him, and he wasn't trying to sell me anything. What would he gain from showing me this? Still, the doubt lingered. It seemed too good to be true. But at the same time, I couldn't ignore what I had just experienced with the sound. There was something about it, something freeing, something powerful. "You can keep fighting the way you have been," he said calmly, "or you can come here, sit in this room, and let the sound guide you. The choice is yours." I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to laugh at how ridiculous it sounded, but another part of me, the part that had felt that incredible sense of lightness when I first put on the headphones, was curious. And in that moment, I decided to trust. After all, what did I have to lose? That single choice set me on a path I never could have imagined. It was the first step toward unlocking the kind of wealth, freedom, and abundance I never thought possible. The results were nothing short of miraculous. At first, it was subtle, small, almost imperceptible changes. One day while I was waiting for a bus, a man approached me and struck up a conversation about a job opening at his company. Normally, I would have brushed it off, doubting my qualifications or abilities, but something about me felt different. I spoke with a confidence I didn't even know I had. A week later, I was sitting in his office, nailing the interview. The hiring manager told me, "I don't know what it is, but you seem like the kind of person we need here." I walked out of that meeting with a job offer at 4 times my previous salary. I had been scraping by on $2,500 a month, but now I was set to earn $10,000 a month, a figure I had only dreamed of. That was just the beginning. My finances, once a constant source of stress, began to improve in ways I never expected. One day I opened my email to find a message from a company I hadn't worked with in years. They'd been trying to track me down to deliver a royalty check I'd forgotten about worth thousands of dollars. But it wasn't just about the money. Something deeper was shifting. People started treating me differently. Strangers smiled at me, eager to strike up conversations. At first I thought I was imagining it, but it became undeniable. My energy had changed, and the world around me was responding. Then came the biggest leap, starting my own business. I'd always dreamed of being my own boss, but never had the confidence or resources to take the plunge. That all changed after a networking event where I casually shared an idea with a stranger. By the end of the night, that stranger introduced me to a potential investor who believed in me. Within 6 months, my business was generating over $50,000 a month in revenue. It felt like the universe had been waiting for me to step into this energy, like it was finally opening doors that had been closed my entire life. What's more, the sense of peace and confidence I found was priceless. I woke up every morning excited for the day ahead, no longer weighed down by fear or doubt. It wasn't just about money or success, though. Those came abundantly. It was about living a life of purpose and alignment. But I couldn't keep this to myself. I went back to the old man, the one who had shown me the headphones and the sound that changed my life. I wanted him to know that it worked. I wanted him to see the transformation, the clarity, the abundance, the freedom I'd found. "I knew you'd come back," he said, his knowing smile making it clear he already sensed what had happened. I told him I couldn't just walk away and keep the secret to myself while so many people were still struggling, stuck in cycles of fear and scarcity, feeling the weight of the world on their shoulders. I needed to find a way to share this gift with others. He nodded, as if he had been waiting for this moment. "This sound," he said, "is powerful. But if you truly want to share it, it must be preserved in a way that no one can distort it, dilute it, or misuse it. It must remain as pure as the energy that flows through the stars." That's when he told me about a man, a former head of NASA, someone who specialized in encrypting data for cosmic research, someone with the tools to protect this sacred frequency. It wasn't easy. I spent months reaching out, convincing this man to take on the project. But when he heard the sound himself, he agreed, saying he had never experienced anything so profound in his life. The encryption process was costly, $200,000 out of my own pocket. But I didn't hesitate, not for a second. I had lived through poverty, fear, and hopelessness, and I hated what it had done to me and so many others. I was determined to put a stop to it, to give people the key to unlock their own abundance. Now the sound is preserved, pure and untouchable, ready to be shared with those who are ready to take that first step toward alignment, abundance, and a life of purpose. And now I want to share this incredible gift with you. I call this phenomenon the Nebula Reserve. It's the ultimate tool for unlocking the infinite abundance the universe has been holding for you. But let me be clear, the Nebula Reserve isn't a book, a course, or just another self-help program. It's something far more powerful. It's a frequency, a specific, scientifically calibrated sound that taps into the same energy fields responsible for creating stars, galaxies, and entire universes. Nebulas are the birthplace of creation, where dust and gas align to form blazing stars and massive planets. The universe uses these same forces to create harmony, balance, and infinite abundance. With Nebula Reserve, you can tune into this universal flow, aligning your own energy with wealth, love, and limitless opportunity. This isn't about reading or studying. You don't need to take notes, practice affirmations, or buy expensive seminars. The beauty of Nebula Reserve is that all you need to do is listen. The nebula frequency, a precisely tuned vibration designed to synchronize your mind and body with the energy of creation itself. This frequency activates your subconscious mind, clearing out blockages and making you a magnet for wealth and success. Vibrational alignment techniques. By immersing yourself in these frequencies daily, you effortlessly attract money, love, and opportunities into your life. No stress, no struggle. The Abundance Blueprint. This is not a plan you have to write. It's a shift in your very being. The frequency works deep within, creating lasting, compounding changes in your wealth and happiness. The Nebula Reserve works because it activates a hidden energy field that's already around you. Think of it like flipping a cosmic switch. Suddenly, everything you've been working so hard for starts to flow easily into your life. Opportunities appear. People are drawn to you. Wealth attracts you, and the best part? You don't need any special skills or prior knowledge. You don't have to spend hours learning a system or practicing techniques. With the Nebula Reserve, all you have to do is plug in, press play, and let the frequency do the work. This is the power of the Nebula Reserve, a frequency that unlocks the universe's infinite potential, waiting just for you. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Can this really work for me? Let me be clear. The answer is an unequivocal yes. If I, a broken, defeated man who couldn't even afford a full tank of gas, can turn my life around using this secret, so can you. And here's the undeniable proof. You're still here, reading this. That's not a coincidence. The universe brought you to this moment because it knows you're ready to change your life. The Nebula Reserve has been proven time and time again to deliver extraordinary results. People just like you, once trapped in debt, hopelessness, and frustration, have used this system to completely transform their lives, going from barely surviving to thriving in just weeks. Before I go any further, I need to warn you. This isn't for everyone. The Nebula Reserve taps into powerful, universal frequencies that align your energy with the creative forces of the cosmos. These sound waves aren't something to be taken lightly. If misused, they can create chaos instead of prosperity. That's why access to the Nebula Reserve is shared only with those ready to embrace true abundance. It's time to step into the life you were meant to live. Imagine waking up every morning with a smile on your face, excited for the day ahead. Picture yourself living in your dream home, driving your dream car, and enjoying the freedom to travel the world, spend quality time with loved ones, and finally live life on your terms. With the Nebula Reserve, this isn't just a dream, it's your new reality. I understand that making this decision can feel like a leap of faith. That's why I'm taking all the risk off your shoulders with an unbeatable triple-back guarantee. 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't feel any shift within 30 days, I'll refund every penny. No questions asked. Guaranteed results or triple your money back. If the Nebula Reserve doesn't bring extraordinary opportunities, wealth, and abundance into your life, I'll refund triple of what you paid. Lifetime effectiveness. Guarantee. This isn't a temporary fix. The Nebula Reserve is designed for permanent transformation. If at any point you feel the frequencies aren't delivering the abundance you deserve, reach out and I'll personally ensure you get your investment back. There are no subscriptions, no hidden fees, and no expiration dates. Once you claim the Nebula Reserve, It's yours forever, and the abundance it unlocks is only the beginning. The universe has brought you here for a reason. Your brighter future is waiting. The only question is, will you answer the call? Right now, you have two choices that will define you in the next 21 days. Choice 1. You can close this page, go back to your normal life, and continue down the same path you've been walking. The stress of unpaid bills, the overwhelming weight of financial struggle, and the frustration of watching others succeed while you feel stuck will still be waiting for you. You'll wake up tomorrow to the same cycle, wondering if things will ever change, knowing deep down that they won't unless you do something different. Or choice 2, you can take the leap. You can claim Nebula Reserve right now and step into the life you've been dreaming of. Imagine this. Within the next 7 days, you start to notice minor shifts. Picture opening your bank account and seeing numbers you never dreamed possible. Envision living the life you've always wanted, without stress, without worry, and with total confidence in the future. This isn't just a dream, it's your destiny. The universe has brought you here for a reason. Will you take control of your destiny, or will you let this slip away? The choice is yours. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's what happens when you align yourself with the limitless power of the universe. Financial freedom, renewed confidence, and the flow of abundance into your life are no longer a distant hope. They're your reality. The choice is yours, but remember, opportunities like this don't come often. Make the decision that your future self will thank you for. Click the button below to claim Nebula Reserve now and take the first step toward a life of wealth, purpose, and true freedom.